Tonight, we descend into a story older than the gods themselves. A story of power and what it fears. A prophecy is given. You will be replaced by your own child. There is no way around it. So you act. You take the future in your hands and you swallow it, one by one. And for a time, it works. Until something begins to return. This is Kronos' story. Across different traditions, power often begins the same way, with a father who fears what he has created. Before Kronos swallowed his children, he was one of them, trapped beneath the weight of the sky itself, buried alive inside the earth, because his own father refused to let him rise into the world above. But this story does not start with Kronos. In the beginning, there is Gaia, one of the primordial forces of the cosmos, the earth itself. From her, Ouranos is born, the sky. He does not simply surround her, he presses down upon her, enclosing the world in a state of constant contact. And from that union, their children emerge, the Titans, the Cyclopes, the Hundred-Handers. And Ouranos, disturbed by their form, pushes them back into Gaia's depths. This is not symbolic. They are forced back as they emerge, kept within her, unable to enter the world above, buried alive in the very body that brought them into being. Gaia suffers, so she fashions a sickle of adamantine, a curved blade, and asks her children to act. Only one agrees. Kronos, the youngest of the Titans. Hesiod describes him as Ankylomedes, the crooked-minded, a figure defined as much by cunning as by force. When Ouranos descends again to lie with Gaia, Kronos ambushes him, and with a single, deliberate motion, he castrates him. From the blood of Ouranos come the Erinyes, born for vengeance, the giants shaped for violence, and the Meliads, ash tree nymphs linked to the earliest forms of life and conflict. And from what is cast into the sea, Aphrodite is born. Creation in Greek cosmology follows destruction. Kronos frees his siblings and becomes ruler of the cosmos. This era is later remembered as the Golden Age of mankind, a time when humans lived as the gods did, free from labor, untouched by age, sustained effortlessly by the earth itself. But Hesiod himself doesn't romanticize it. The pattern returns. From Ouranos and from Gaia, the prophecy emerges. Kronos, too, will be overthrown by his own child. It is already in motion. Kronos responds in the only way he understands. He takes his sister Rhea as his wife, and each time she gives birth, he swallows the child whole. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. One by one, they are not destroyed. They remain inside him, alive, contained. But Rhea, grieving, refuses to accept this. She has lost too many. When she gives birth to Zeus, she gives Kronos a stone wrapped in swaddling cloth instead. He swallows it without hesitation. The child, Zeus, is hidden in Crete, in a cave on Mount Ida or Mount Dicta, depending on the version. The Curetes clash shields to mask his cries. When Zeus matures, he returns. With Metis' help, he gives Kronos a potion. Kronos vomits up the stone first, then his children, one by one, fully grown. Thus, the Olympian gods are reborn from their father's body, and the Titanomachy begins, a 10-year war between Titans and Olympians. Zeus frees the Cyclopes and Hundred-Handers from Tartarus, the very beings Kronos had once freed but failed to keep at his side. They repay the Olympians with weapons, the thunderbolt, the trident, the helm of invisibility. The balance shifts. The outcome becomes clear. Kronos falls and is cast into Tartarus, into the same depth where his father once buried others. The pattern is now complete. Kronos becomes the embodiment of cyclical inevitability. Each ruler is confronted with the same quiet problem. The future will arrive, and it will not belong to you. Kronos attempts to solve this. He commits violence to prevent vulnerability. He becomes the monster he once opposed. And here is the uncomfortable symmetry. Kronos overthrows a father who suppressed his children only to suppress his own, to avoid being overthrown. Greek myth, at its core, is political theology. It asks, how does power sustain itself? Through force? Through fear? Or through adaptation? Kronos represents the transitional generation, the unstable regime between chaos and order. Not primordial enough to be abstract, not refined enough to be Olympian. He is the ruler who cannot imagine a future that includes his replacement. And that may be his true limitation. There is a quiet irony in calling his era the Golden Age, because for whom was it golden? Not for the children inside him. In art, most famously in Goya's Saturn devouring his son, Kronos becomes madness, paranoia incarnate, eyes wide, blood on his hands. The archaic Kronos is colder, rational. If the prophecy is true, remove the variable, timeless. Every institution fears succession, every empire fears youth, every generation fears irrelevance. Kronos does not fail in battle. He fails the moment he believes he can stop what comes next. The fear of losing power becomes the need to control it, and control, taken far enough, consumes everything. But time is what devours everything, and those who try to resist or control it are left behind, broken by the very effort to escape the pattern. So before we descend again, how far would you go to hold on to power, to resist your replacement by those who come after you? Carry your torch and join us at the next descent.